Oh, hey guys, what's up? It's Carl. Just wanted to show you a couple handy little thingers on marking audio. Why that's super handy, how it makes it easier when you do some multi-tracking stuff. So I'm just going to pull up an interview I did this past Friday with a gypsy jazz guitar group, some of Fareed's students. Okay, so here's this original raw interview. As you see, I've already done a little bit of marking here. Let me show you what I did, how I did that. Okay, so this is something I did last week. I don't remember what all was said. So when I go back to cut it up, I just listen through the whole thing to refresh my memory. While I'm listening through the whole thing, I mark the audio. That makes my life a lot easier later. So the way you do that is super easy. On Macs and Windows too, I believe. You just hit M as you are listening through, and wherever the playhead is right then, it will drop a marker like that right there, what it just did, marker 01. This is your markers panel. Again, if you don't see it, go up to Window, Markers. So I'll give you just a quick little demo here.
At first, scale with all the...
So let me just find a part where I ask a question.
Cool vibe. Off the back.
Read.
This is a form.
What about that second one? That was a really technical piece.
Yeah, the second one, well, the first one's more rhythmic. The second one's very open, and it's called rondeña. That's the name of the form. And
okay, so there we go. I just dropped a marker right where she begins to answer my question, and after I am talking over her. So in any case, so that dropped a marker. Now what I want to do is I actually want to mark a range of audio, not just where it begins. So there are two different ways I can do this. One is if I have my markers panel open, after I've dropped that marker.
Well, the first one's more rhythmic. The second one's
what I
very
do is I
open,
grab
and
the
it's called
duration,
rondeña. That's the name of the form. And the form
I
is
just click and drag
usually
that to the
solo
right.
guitar, and it's
what
very...
that does is it's given me a
As you
range
can see,
marker. It's given me a range marker, and I can then adjust this by just clicking and dragging these points. So as I'm listening to her talk, I can just go ahead and drag that out, and whenever she finishes stopping or talking, I can just drop it right there. I don't think that's where the actual end is. She goes on for a little bit. But yeah, she goes on right here.
And always try to play his music.
So, boom. That's the end right there. So that's that clip of her answering my question. So then I can title it whatever I want by just kind of clicking over here a couple times until it gives you the... It's not quite a double click because I always try double clicking and it doesn't want to do it. So you got to like double click and then click again. In any case, so we'll just say this answer 1. She was talking about, I think, the second piece that she played. I don't have the name of that. Otherwise, I'd just write the name of the piece, which is what I typically do. So that's that. So now you've got this range of audio marked. Another way you can do that same thing is if what you can do is, let's say, I think this is probably...
Anybody else want to talk about that?
Well, it was a good experience.
Okay, so there we go. So I ask a question. I ask if anybody else wants to talk about that. And I think it goes to probably...
An arrangement.
Correction, I think it was 1958, Newport Jazz Festival. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so there we go. That's the whole answer to the question right there. So another way I can do that range marker is I highlight that whole range of audio, and then I just hit M. Boom. And it'll do it right there. And I know that one. They're talking about Sweet Georgia Brown Part 2. Because I think they talk about it a little earlier as well. So in any case, so now I've got some marked ranges of audio. Now, why do we do that? Well, I'll show you. Because when you go into your multi-track setting, let's say I'm doing some narration. Blah, 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 narrate, narrate, narrate. I'm talking about gypsy jazz guitar. Then what you do is if you still have your markers panel open, now you want to make sure, in order to do this little trick, you've got to have this selected right here. Show markers of all files. When I click that, all of the files that I have open here in the Files panel, you'll be able to see all the markers inside those files. Now this particular icon means that's a range of audio. So why is that cool? Well, check this out. I know I want that one clip. You just, let's say, answer 1. Let's grab her answer. So I just click and drag. There's that clip of audio. All right, and then what I want to do, let's say there's some ums and ahs, and I want to clean this up. But at the same time, I want to maintain my original raw audio. So, I mean, you could just duplicate the file and call it raw and interview edit. But I'm just working with little clips. So just to show you how to do that, if I want to trim up this piece but leave the whole interview intact, so I've dragged this clip out from the raw interview. All I have to do, right-click on this, convert to unique copy. Boom. You'll see it turned it into its own. It changed the title of the clip or the name of the clip. And then it created a new file over here, interview_1. So then what I can do is I can just double click on this clip, and I'm just looking at that one little clip. It's its own file now, handy to use, and then I can clean it up
Usually
however I
it's solo
want.
guitar, and it's very, which means like, it's referring to the bells.
Okay, so I can go in there and pull out the ums, whatever.
Which means like, it's referring to the bells.
So in any case, so then you'll see when I go back, if I've edited it, it will leave, the clip ends up staying the same, and it just leaves silence at the end. Keeps the clip the same length, puts silence at the end. So then you still have to kind of go back and resize that clip a little bit. But hey, it's a very easy workflow. And here's the other reason why you don't want to edit into a raw interview. Because let's say you got a big piece going. In fact, I'll show you right here. This is why we don't do it this is why we convert clips to unique copies instead of editing your raw interview. Because let's say, check this out. So Sweet Georgia Brown, right? This came earlier in the interview. And then her answer came later in the interview. If I go in here and I just go like this, oh, I want to delete this part. All of a sudden, this shifted the syncing of her clip because the program is referencing the global time. And if it says, okay, well, this clip starts at, this time, and you start shortening things earlier in the interview, your whole thing is screwed up, dude. You're going to be messed up. So do not do that because you will end up putting yourself in a world of hurt. You'll think you'll have this beautiful multi-track file all ready to go. You'll mix it down. You won't listen to it. You'll put it on air, and then you'll be like, wait, what? I'm just kidding, because everything that goes to air gets an edit, right? All right. So there we go. That's some handy little workflow for you. Hope that helps you out. Hope that saves you some time. Peace.